If you know, you know. Our slang game has been strong for centuries. And if you don't, our celebrity historian is going to break it all down.
Still to come, we are going way back before Texas and TikToks, people. After the break, we're going to tell you how the slang okay started with teenagers in the 1800s and why playful lingo like LOL and IYKYK is nothing new.
If you know, you know. Celebrity historian Raffi Andonian is going to join us with the surprising origins of okay. Welcome back to all of you. Okay, friends, have you ever sat back and wondered how we began saying okay all the time? I didn't until I read this script, but then I learned it was on this day 187 years ago that okay was first published, entering our slang forever. And here to share more about the story of okay is a guy who's so much more than okay. Our friend and celebrity historian Raffi Andonian. Always good to see you.
Hey, okay to be here.
And why am I not surprised that you of all people knew that okay started on this day 187 years
That's
ago?
right, exactly today in 1839, it was published in a Massachusetts newspaper. Now, that's the first time that we know it's kind of used out officially, if you will, but it had been around. It was kind of becoming a trendy language at that point in time by young, educated people that were just kind of saying it amongst each other to be cool, to be part of the in crowd, if you will. And it kind of goes into the newspaper as a joke, and it begins to catch on, especially during the political campaign season. You know, those politicians, in 1840, there's a presidential election, and in that 1840 presidential election, there's the use of a lot of language that is slang. And actually, it wasn't unusual to have slang in politics at the time. Like Old Hickory was for Andrew Jackson. You have Old Tippecanoe, which was for William Henry Harrison. But this time, it was okay was for Old Kinderhook for Martin Van Buren, this guy, the president at the time, on this silver coin from the United States Mint. And the reason it applied to him is because he was from Old Kinderhook, New York. So the okay, which originally meant all correct, now became applicable to him because of his hometown, believe it or not. And his political opponents seized on it, the guys that were running against him, and they said, okay, we're going to use okay against him, because they said his mentor, Andrew Jackson, he wrote okay as a misspelling of all correct, and that means they're too stupid to be in office. These personal attacks were a thing. But his things himself, he leaned into the okay nickname because of the hometown. Okay clubs were around. Vote for okay was a campaign slogan. Became huge.
I had no idea. And in going through this segment, preparing for it, I started catching myself just in general conversation, realizing how much I say okay.
We say it all the time.
All the time.
All the time we say it.
So why do we use slang?
Well, think about okay, it means all correct, right? And there's a lot of times we do that to this day. You know how all is, in that case, O-L-L instead of A-L-L?
Yes.
Well, you ever say all right?
Yes.
That comes from the era as well, believe it or not. It was O-W. All right. You just got to have your New York accent. Don't say an A, do it an O, right? These misspellings, these ways of using slang, these abbreviations we've used for a long time so we can identify each other, to be part of the clique, part of the in-group. But it's not always just trying to be cool. Sometimes it's, you know, it is teenagers, obviously, a lot of times wanting the sense of belonging, which is an age in which you want that. But there's other ways, too. For example, special interest groups. If you're into video games or Pong or baseball cards or something like that, sometimes it's a marker with ethnicity or gender. You can talk differently around different groups. It can also be a marker for all kinds of ways to be using this. One of my favorite is in the medieval times, criminals, hustlers, and swindlers would use completely misspelled and wrong words, kind of like I remember Pig Latin back in the day, so people wouldn't understand what they're talking about as they're doing their crime. So even in medieval times, there was this identification way to do it, to exclude others and make sure that we're talking to each other.
And what's so interesting, especially in the digital age, is now everyone has access to it. If you know, you know. I can't even remember the first time I saw that. But then it started popping up on Christmas cards. I'm like, this is nuts with hashtags. Oh, my goodness.
And it can pop up in different ways.
Yes.
It can be okay with the periods. It can be okay just the letters. It can be okay spelled out, which is technically incorrect. But I would say it's the most popular slang word in the world and has a lot of different uses as well.
Okay, so what is your all-time favorite slang?
For me, it is dude, and that's very 80s, right? In 1980s, what we think of. It's actually 1880s, believe it or not, is when it came out. Yankee Doodle, the song, used to be a song that was supposed to mock Americans by the British back in the 18th century. By the late 19th century, Americans adapted dude, Yankee Doodle, to be something that was patriotic, and dude was often used at first as someone that was, you know, when you say, like, look at this dude,
yeah.
You know, it was this guy that was, like, trying to be too European, too fancy, full of himself, over the top, trying too hard. Think of a dude ranch. Those guys there, East Coast elite that go there and try too hard out west. But, of course, the evolution of dude has changed. I feel like bro has taken over. But yes. I like the dude. I like the Big Lebowski, the pinnacle in 1998 when the film came out. Dude is my favorite.
Oh, you never know what you're going to get with Raffi, but you are going to learn a lot.
An okay dude myself.
Darn right
Both of them
he
together.
is, if I've ever seen one. And to see more of Raffi, just head to his website, celebrityhistorian.com. We'll post this segment at firstalert4.com/mystlive following the show. And Damon, just to plug something else that Raffi did recently, he was on my podcast, Live with Laura, which you can find on our website. You'll learn so much more about his fascinating history. He is fantastic, and why he wears a pink bow tie.
That dude is also fashionable. All right, thank you.